It's all about the mind. We experience life through the filters of our own conditioned beliefs, our expectations, and our stories. The world is a neutral place. It does what it does. It doesn't intentionally do good for some people and then does bad for some people. No, it doesn't favor anyone. It is a neutral place. The same event happens for two different people. One can respond negatively and the other can respond positively. Why? Because each one of them sees the world differently through their own filter. The world itself doesn't favor you or me. It just does what it does. It doesn't consciously decide who win or lose here. You and I, as the author of our own life, who decide what we want to see. And this is a great thing. So often, we think that, man, the world is here to against us. Man, it's like the universe just keeps putting like obstacles into my life. And that nothing good happens for me. Sometimes we go about life and we think about it this way. But if you really understand it, the world doesn't really intentionally try to push you down. You have to understand this. Many people oftentimes act like they are a victim and that they don't have control over their lives. But the fact is we do. We can decide to choose to see a good thing even when bad events happen. It's all about the mind. Losing a job can be a bad thing for so many people. And then they decide to choose to see the bad thing in a negative event. That's what we've been conditioned to see. But losing a job can be a blessing. Losing a job forces you to pursue your passion. Losing a job forces you to pursue what you truly want. Losing a job helps you to realize that nothing is permanent and that life is very short. And if you don't pursue your passion now, one day when you get old, you will lose your passion. So if you look at it this way, losing a job is a great thing. If we don't lose a job, we may not force ourselves to pursue our dreams. Not getting a date may feel like a loser, may feel like a failure. But that may be a good thing in of itself. It saves you money, time, and even some headaches down the road that you may not even see it now. Another thing is being single. And this is a hot topic. Right? People are dying for connection nowadays. And that's why many people focus on getting into a relationship. But this is not always in our control. And when we focus on something that we don't have much control over, it can fuck you up pretty badly. So focus on what you can control, which is your attitude, effort, and time. Learn to embrace the singleness. Not easy, but you have to. Remember, it's all about the mind. I know you want connection. I know you want to have somebody in your life that will understand you, that will go with you through this journey. You will at some point in the future. But in the meantime, learn to enjoy the singleness. Learn to embrace it. Don't hate it. Don't fight back. Decide to choose the good in the bad situation. Remember, it's all about the mind. You can decide to choose a good thing for being single, and life will be much more easier. We are all biased in some ways, but be smart. Choose to be biased on the good side. You can think to yourself that women don't find you attractive. And you're right. Every time when you interact with them, you'll then act consistently with your belief. If you subconsciously think that, man, women don't find me attractive, you'll then act fearful and timid. Versus when you believe that, hey, women find me attractive, you'll then act confidently and the results usually favor on your side. We know that it's not always the case, but it is way easier to interact in an attractive way, and that will likely lead to a better result. So you see where am I going with this? We oftentimes don't have control over external circumstances, but we do have control over one of the powerful tools, which is our mind. And if you learn to put a good filter on your own mind, your life will much be easier. You will go through life with very minimum struggles. What do you want? Do you want to see the bad in everything, or do you want to see the good in everything? Remember, the world is a neutral place. It doesn't really care whether you win or lose. It doesn't really care. So you have to be the one that cares. And in order to do so, you need to learn to control your mind and use it to your advantage. If you use it correctly, your life will change forever. But if you use it incorrectly, your life will be a struggle. It doesn't matter what the external events happen to you. Ultimately, you are the one who decides what meaning to give, what story to tell. That will then determine how you feel. Happy or sad, stressful or peaceful. It's all about the mind. Your mind can decide how you feel, whether it is a good or bad event. When we really think about it, this is actually a very powerful insight. Your mind has a lot of power, and you indeed can train it to work in your favor. And this doesn't mean that you'll never feel down or disappointed. No, you still experience those feelings. That's just part of human being. But when you experience those emotions, you can then remind yourself that you have power over negative emotions and decide to see the good in the bad situation. Always remember that you are the author of your life, and you are also the author of your mind. Learn to control your mind instead of going through life unconsciously. Learn to use your mind to your advantage. You will get what you focus on. The quality of your life is really dependent on what you focus on. So make sure you focus on the good thing. Make sure you focus on what actually helps you move towards your greatness. It doesn't matter what life throws at you. At any moment, you can decide how you feel. Never forget that power. Nobody can decide how you feel. I can do all the bad things to you, but you can still decide what you want to see. You can decide to see the good in this event, or you can decide to see the bad in this event. You have 100% control over your life. I hope you enjoyed this episode and got something valuable. I just want to say thank you for choosing my podcast. I would really appreciate your reviews. And until next time, thank you.